Hey guys, welcome to your Strength Toolkit. I'm Richard Wolff, and tonight we're talking about how to strength train when you're not here in the studio with your personal trainer. This could be that you're on a family vacation for a week or two, or maybe you're traveling with work for 2, 3, 4 days. Maybe you're just too busy here in St. Charles and you can't get in for that second workout, or it could be during a pandemic like we have right now and there's a complete shutdown. But our intention is to address the issue of consistency with living the strength training lifestyle. So we're going to walk through the 5 pillars, the 5 things you need to know and do if you're going to be successful with being more consistent overall with the strength training lifestyle. So let's dive right in with pillar number 1, which is all about compliance. When we look at the scientific evidence on health habits and whether or not someone is compliant, and this could be anything from healthy eating to exercise, including strength training. But when we look at that literature, one thing stands out on a very consistent basis as being very predictive of whether or not someone will stay with a health habit in today's highly unsupportive culture. And that is what we describe as self-monitoring. What is self-monitoring? It's simply keeping a record of what you're doing. Now, when you're here in the studio, of course, we do that for you. And you know your trainer here at MedFitness is essentially obsessed with your workout chart. We're looking at all kinds of data points and we're collecting that data, put it on a report that we use to crunch the data down and basically use this data to make decisions about you and your future and your progress here at MedFitness. That's of course our job. That's one of the things we do for you. When we're not with you and you're at home or you're in the hotel or wherever you might be, this is your job, is to monitor this behavior. Now, nobody really disagrees with this. Nobody says, well, if I track it, I'm not going to do it, or if I track it, I'm going to do worse. The issue is keeping it incredibly simple so that tracking it is doable and maintainable and not some sort of over-the-top complicated task. So we like the 1-minute rule when it comes to self-monitoring health habits, and that includes strength training. So for those of you who are MedFitness clients, you've received the MedFitness at-home workout chart from me. I'm not going to pull that chart out right now, but that chart is designed to be literally less than a minute of checking things off on the workout chart, putting the date at the top of it, and or recording the number of repetitions you completed or the time that you engaged in an exercise. And so if you're watching our MedFitness at-home videos, you know what I'm talking about. But that workout chart is there every week. We're sending that to you every week during the shutdown, so you have it, and it literally should take less than 60 seconds to monitor what you're doing in your strength workout. But that is step number 1. Action step number 1 is to monitor what you're doing by tracking the workout itself. I can tell you from experience, and I can tell you from 30 plus years of looking at the evidence on health habits, that when people don't monitor them, they just are less likely to engage in them. This is why biosensors and wearable technology is so popular these days. Things like this Apple Watch. These tools help us to monitor health habits and help us to stay with them in an incredibly unsupportive society that we live in. So that's pillar number 1. We are going to track the workout, we're going to keep a record of it, and that's going to drive up compliance with that behavior exponentially. Number 2, what is the proper tool to use when you're not here in the studio? Now you might be at home, you might be at the office, you could be anywhere actually. So what is the right tool to use? Well, the good news here is that your muscles can't distinguish between which tool it is that you're using. In other words, I could jump over here and get on the MedX leg press or do the MedX pull down, expensive pieces of equipment, good tools, that's for sure. But I could do those movement patterns at home with dumbbells and barbells or straps or my body weight, and my muscles don't know the difference. So the good news is here, any tool can be used constructively to stimulate the muscles and to help you be stronger and healthier. But what matters is how you use it. This is always the case, even here at MedFitness. how you use this Med-X pull down matters more than are you using it or not. So it's not about the tool itself, it's about how do you use that tool? Do you know how to use it properly, and are you implementing what we would describe as the workout skills in the use of that tool? So my point here is that it's not about the right equipment. I know that we have expensive equipment here at MedFitness. I know it's nice to have great equipment wherever we happen to be, but this can be accomplished, effective strength training can be accomplished with just body weight, with very simple tools. In fact, things at home that can be used as a source of resistance, whether it's a bottle of wine or a jug of milk, whatever it might be, we can generate muscular work with lots of different tools. So don't get bogged down on, well, I didn't have equipment, there wasn't a fitness center there. Any tool can be used constructively if you know how to use it. So that's good news. Number two is any tool will work as long as we use it properly. There's no net decrease in effectiveness just because I'm using a different kind of tool. Number three is effort. How hard should you work? Does effort matter? Of course, we know that overall, when we look at the science on strength training, effort is the single most important ingredient or factor that influences benefits from the strength workout. So not working as hard translates into fewer benefits. Not working as hard translates into less of a strength gain. Basically because you're not providing a stimulus to that target muscle group. So the higher the stimulus, because your effort is high, the greater the benefits to you, that person doing the workout. So effort is number one here. Once you begin the workout, once you've initiated it, it really is all about effort. So what I'm going to say about training away from your trainer, because this has been studied and it's been discussed in the industry for decades, is that when people are unsupervised, when their trainer isn't on their shoulder coaching them, guiding them through a workout, the tendency is to not work as hard. This is just human nature. It doesn't mean that you have a character flaw because you're not working as hard on your own. But the take-home message here is to be self-aware of this. Know that when you're on your own, there's an inclination to not push yourself as much. So be aware of this and simply push yourself as hard as you're capable of in that one-on-one condition where you don't have a coach or a trainer coaching you. So from my experience, knowing that effort matters and knowing that it is the biggest predictor of benefits, you'll be more willing to engage in that high level of effort and that pushing yourself towards the end of an exercise where the training stimulus goes up and the benefits go up at the same time. So effort matters here. And if you're watching the MedFitness at-home workout videos that I've been sending MedFitness members, you may have heard me say that it's okay to add some volume to your home workout if you feel like you're just not pushing yourself as hard as you might normally here in the studio. So I would invite you to strategically add a little volume, do potentially a second cycle of those exercises that we're recommending, or repeat an exercise for a second set, do it a second time if you feel like you're just not getting the effort on your own that you would normally get with your coach training you here in the studio. But effort matters, intensity matters. It is the single most important thing that influences results. And my point today is that I want you to work as hard as you possibly can, no matter what the tool is. And if you feel like you're not getting quite as much effort on your own, add just a little volume as a way of getting a little deeper stimulus and a little more of a stimulus to that target muscle group. But effort definitely is number one overall when we think about what determines whether we will get benefits from our workout away from MedFitness here. Number four is form. Of course, the soundbite here that really rings true is that you should end the exercise how you began the exercise. In other words, the posture that you started the exercise with, wherever your body was, whether your legs and hips and arms and shoulders were lined up, that posture should be consistent throughout the entire exercise. You shouldn't be shifting your body to try to perform additional repetitions just because you're fatiguing, because this is not a more is better undertaking here. If more is better, we should train all day, every day. It really does come down to effort and what we would describe as quality movement. This not only ensures that the exercise is stimulating the target muscle as designed, but it also ensures that you're staying safe towards the end of the set as fatigue goes high. So form does matter, and in a sense, it almost matters more when you're on your own than when you're in the studio, because one of the things that we do is we redirect you. Again, you've heard us tell you what you're doing right and reinforcing you, but if you're not doing something right, we're going to redirect you and coach you on what to do differently on that next repetition. So that's the great thing about being supervised with a trainer, is you always have that safety net of the coach there with you. But when you're doing it on your own, it is very tempting to begin to get a little sloppy as fatigue goes up. So I'm going to insist that you stay incredibly strict on your form, even towards the end of the exercise when it is very tempting to get a little bit sloppy. So rule here, quality movement matters. Always stay strict, no matter how you're feeling, no matter how fatigued you are on that exercise. And lastly, what I'm going to say is nutrition matters, right? Doesn't nutrition always matter? Of course it always matters, whether you're strength training or not. But for those of you who are already strength trained, which is pretty much everyone watching this video, we're always going to recommend that post-workout protein of about 20 grams of high-quality protein for two reasons. Number one is that we have good evidence showing that protein sensitivity is high after the strength workout. We know that when we give your body those building blocks of muscle tissue, we can increase what scientists call muscle protein synthesis, which is the building of muscle. We can jack that process up by giving you some high-quality protein following that strength workout. We also know that in a world that makes it easy to eat badly, is that adding some high-quality protein after the strength workout can also displace other lower-quality foods that we're all inclined to eat, given how available they are these days. So a high-quality protein snack within an hour or so after the strength workout fills you up, fuels your muscles, and keeps you physically satisfied, so you're less likely to start nibbling on all the other foods that are just so prevalent in our unsupportive food environment that we live in these days. So what have we said? We've said that self-monitoring matters. Track your workout. We've kept it ridiculously simple with the MedFitness workout chart, so less than a minute to track what you're doing. The tool doesn't matter, guys. Whatever tool you want to use, whatever tool is available can be used effectively. Don't get caught up on the fact that you don't have expensive strength training equipment when you're on vacation or when you're away on a business trip. Any tool can be used effectively if you know how to use it properly. Effort is still the king here, guys. Effort matters more than anything else. Once you begin the workout, it's all about pushing yourself to a high level of muscle fatigue. We all know that muscle burn that we felt in our workouts here at MedFitness. Getting to that threshold where you can't continue the exercise is important. Adding a little volume is okay. Form matters, of course. How you end the exercise is how you begin it. Don't get sloppy with your form. It's even more important because if I'm not there coaching you, it's easier to get sloppy. So be even more disciplined with your form. Don't get sloppy. Stay strict. Do the exercise as designed to get the benefits out of it that you're looking for, and then add that post-workout protein snack as a way of fueling the muscles and filling you up so you're less likely to eat other low-quality foods that are just so prevalent in today's world. So those are the pillars, guys. Those are the 5 things to be aware of so that you're able to strength train at home, at the hotel in Florida, on a business trip, whatever it might be, whatever environment you're in, there really is no excuse for not strength training and getting the benefits of the strength training lifestyle. So the couple of resources I'm going to quickly recommend to you is number 1, our protein guide. If you're getting our weekly videos via email, the protein guide link is included in the workout guide, so you can always refresh yourself on that. What are good sources of high quality protein to build muscle? And then I'm going to direct you to your email. Tomorrow I'm going to be sending out this month's article, which is Food Frenzy. I talk about this issue of how is it that it's so incredibly easy to eat unhealthful foods in today's world and what can we do about it. So that's the topic of Food Frenzy. That will be emailed to you tomorrow. Definitely look for that. And all of our resources, of course, are at our Learning Center. All of our lectures. This lecture is going to be at our Learning Center. Within a couple days it'll be there, so you can look at it then, or you can share it with a friend, whoever it might be. But go to medfitnessprogram.com. That's our normal website, medfitnessprogram.com/blog. All of our articles, all of our resources, all of our lecture videos are there. So that's a great library of tools for you to be learning and applying to your strength train lifestyle. Thanks for watching tonight, guys. I look forward to seeing you soon.